Hi guys, welcome back to PS Let's Talk About That. I'm Priya.
And Shanelle.
And today, I'm a whole vibe.
You guys are not prepared for Priya today.
You're not ready.
This is a different level Priya today.
This is a new me.
If
new year, new me, you know?
You're watching on YouTube, you can see Priya, but let me just give you a little rundown. Priya is in sunglasses, in full Adele merch, drinking wine out of her wine glass.
I drink wine.
Which, by the way, you didn't offer me one.
I'm so sorry, I didn't! Oh my god, do you want one?
No, it's fine, it's fine. It's fine.
No, really, do you want one? I'll give you one right now. No, I'll give you one right now. I'll pause it and then we can just come right back to it.
Priya, I
Yes.
feel that you have news for us.
I have some news.
Can you please share the vibe today? What inspired this vibe today?
You know, I had a really casual weekend.
Tell me.
I went to Vegas. Ooh. Yeah, you know, and then I saw Adele. I saw my queen. The one, I know that we had mentioned it in a previous episode. David got it for me as my birthday gift.
Shout out,
here.
David.
Yeah, I'm going to take the sunglasses off now. I can't do it the whole episode. But we did it. We just saw Adele.
Ooh.
It was, and I'm talking like just saw, like
Last
Shanelle
night,
and I have
like 12 hours ago.
like it was literally the entire time David was like, in 12 hours, you're going to see Adele. And then today I was like, David, yesterday I saw Adele.
That's so cute.
So it's like very fresh, very new. If you are on YouTube, you can see I've got my top.
Adele
I did
merch.
have my little wine. I bought so much merch. I bought
as
like
you should.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those you feel guilty while you're doing it, kind of.
Yeah.
Because you're like, wow, this costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
But then after the show, I was like, I'm so glad I bought all that merch.
Yeah.
Like it was necessary. It was worth it. Incredible show. Yeah.
I'm so excited for
Yeah.
you.
So let's talk about it.
Let's break this down.
Yeah. First, let's talk about the road trip itself.
Okay.
We decided to do a road trip. The flights were so expensive.
Yeah.
It was crazy expensive because we were originally actually we thought about doing a road trip there. Mm-hmm. And then someone had mentioned, oh, why don't you look into like the price of a flight? So we were like, okay. It was per person round trip over $400.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and so it's only Los Angeles to Vegas. It did not make any sense.
Wow.
We were like, forget it. We're just going to drive. We're going to make it a road trip.
Yeah.
And how are you with packing? I want to know.
Like, what kind of packer am I?
Yeah, what kind of packer are you?
I will pack a week before the trip.
Oh, good for you.
I love packing.
Oh, good for you.
Packing cubes
Yes.
are amazing.
Yeah.
I love packing. I am a light packer.
Oh, good.
I try really hard. If we do fly, I always try to make sure mine is a carry-on.
Oh,
Like,
interesting.
I like to pack light. But I mean, it's different when you're driving and you have room in your car and stuff.
Yeah.
But I am like an over-prepared, like I will say I pack a week in advance.
You're a family of 4, though. So how
Yeah.
do you manage to...
So with kids, it's a little bit different. But
Yeah.
also you can bring, it depends on the airline.
like per person?
But per person, you can have like a diaper bag. Or
15 carry.
like when it was just me and Sean, it was always a carry-on.
Mm-hmm.
Now with kids, I mean, we've only flown once with kids, and it was a weekend trip actually to Vegas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
The flights were not that expensive when we went, but I think like maybe it depends on how far out you book the flights.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's wild. 400 it's like a
Not worth
45-minute
it.
flight.
Yeah.
It's a 45-minute flight.
Not worth it by any means.
But yeah, I think when we all 4 of us fit in one suitcase.
Oh.
And then we had one diaper bag carry-on. So we had one
That's
check-in.
super impressive,
and one.
Chanel.
Thank you.
I should hire you to pack.
I love packing. But tell me, so what kind of...
Okay. So I'm an overpacker.
Okay.
Typically. I try to be as efficient as possible. I try to do the whole packing cubes thing, but I'm also a very anxious packer. I hate the thought of forgetting something.
Yeah.
I'm always like, okay, what do we need? I make my little checklist, all
Yeah.
that stuff. I have, like the cubes, like we were saying. But for this particular trip, I just like literally put it off till the very last minute, the day of.
Yeah.
I was like, I should pack. It's like I should really
We're leaving now.
I should pack my clothes now. And so that delayed us, but it wasn't one of those things where like David was like sitting in a corner and not helping me and just like stressed out about it or angry about it. We both were just kind of like I don't know. I am just an anxious packer. I don't enjoy packing.
Yeah.
And I think it's because like in my head I'm going to forget something. And sometimes too, like in past experiences, I thought that I did a great job. And then we get there and David's like, hey, did you pack this? And I'm like, no, because I asked you.
Yeah.
And you didn't tell me that you wanted this. So now I'm trying to always like
think about what the other person needs.
I'm trying to be one step ahead. And I think that's what gets to me.
Yeah.
Because David will pack, I think, really casually. And then I think in his mind, he's like, she knows that I also need this, but I don't. Yeah. And so I'm like, no, it's missing because you didn't say a word about it, you know? So I finally did pack. Our mission was to get out by like 11:30. We got out at like 3.
Oh, that's fine.
So it was it was not like, you know, the greatest timing on our parts. But thankfully the drive was like easy. Yeah. It really wasn't a bad drive. I think there were like a couple of pockets here and there that had some traffic, but it wasn't bad. So we got there around 8. Okay. I want to say. And it was fun for the most part. I think like with road trips, have you done like a bunch of road trips or not really?
I did a lot when we were kids. We would go to Vegas a lot as kids.
Oh, that's cool. That's why you say you like the smell of a casino.
I do. I love the smell of a casino. I think it's nostalgic. We did Vegas a lot. Like that was just an easy road trip. My dad loves road trips.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like we went pretty frequent. Like I would say every couple months we would go. So I do, but as I've gotten older, I feel like I've done a lot less road trips. Yeah. As a kid, we used to do them all the time.
Do a road trip.
I know. I really want to. I've been wanting to do one.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Do you think your kids would even let you?
Well, that's the thing is I don't think, and I don't know how parents did. Maybe it was just like the only option. Mm-hmm. But like, you know, my parents just had all of us in the car. Like it would be the 3 of us plus like a cousin or 2. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we'd all shove in. And like no one had, like we didn't have tablets and stuff back then. Yeah. We just played games and like we didn't complain. We were on the road for 5 or 6 hours. Yeah. And it just is what it was. Mm-hmm. And now if I'm in a car longer than 15 minutes with Noelle, she starts to like literally cry.
Oh no.
How much longer?
Oh my goodness.
Where are we? Like she like panics if it's like longer than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So I don't really know if like.
But she did well on the flight. You had said, right?
Yeah. Interesting. I think the flight one was really short. It's 45 minutes. And she had never been on a flight before.
So it's exciting.
She was so excited to be in a plane. Like the build up to the plane ride, she could not wait to be on the plane. And then when she was on the plane, she was so quiet. And she was just staring out the window. Like she was in shock, I think, that we were in the air. Like,
that's so cute.
It was really cute to watch her be on a plane.
Yeah.
In her in a car, that was it's a different beast.
She's like, I hate this. I don't want to be here. Yeah. I feel that.
But yeah.
Yeah. We road tripped a few times as a family. I don't know. I wouldn't say that we did it a lot. And then on top of that, my parents never took me to Vegas. It wasn't until I was like much older that I went with them. And my mom is so cute. My mom was like really excited to use like penny machines, but I don't think we like found any. So she was all bummed out because everything at that point was like more on like the digital scale, you know? And so she was really sad because she had taken like a little bag of coins with her.
She's so cute.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to Pushpa.
I know.
Pushpa is a vibe.
I do love my mom.
Pushpa is a total vibe.
She's a cutie. Yeah. Yeah. She's got a good vibe about her right now. She just had a cataract surgery. So it's really cute. I will try it. Maybe I'll insert a photo, depending. But she's got like these big old sunglasses and she wears them just all the time. And it's really, really cute. Like I texted Shanelle a photo one day because I keep, like a creeper, I keep a baby monitor in her room so I can like check on her just to make sure everything's good. You know, like she's older. I just want to make sure she's safe. And so usually I'll do like a morning check-in and like a nightly check-in. And so I checked in one night and she was just watching TV with her sunglasses on.
Laying in bed with her big sunglasses. She literally was like mafia status. Yeah. Like she was just the cutest thing. It's my favorite photo.
It was a vibe. It was a vibe. And it's like one of those things like now we like send it to each other and so it's just she's so a mood. Cute. It's a mood. And I should honestly show it. It's very cute. I hope that she'll like it. But why did I talk about this?
Oh, the pennies.
Yes. So she was really She was bummed out that she couldn't like do her little slots. But up until that point too, I feel like my parents always advertised Vegas as like Sin City, which is like what everyone does. You know?
I feel like it has that reputation for a good reason.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. But it has its reputation, and there's validity to it, to say the least. But otherwise, it was an easy ride over there. Good trip all around. It was just really pricey too. Yeah. I will say. I think that Vegas has always been pricey, but it just felt particularly heavy this time.
Yeah. I would say same. The last time we took for Rory's birthday, it felt really pricey because I think this time around, like, I'm paying for everything. Oh, yeah. Whereas, like, all the
it's
years.
Not family?
Yeah, like, I had gone, like, I always go with my family. And I was like, you know, you don't ask the price for things.
Yeah, of course.
You're a kid. And so, like, when I went this time, it was like, oh, okay.
You're like, it costs that much?
Yeah, I'm like, thanks, Bob. It is pricey. It gets the food, the hotel.
Do you really need to, like, eat right now?
Yeah.
Or do you think you can just, like, hold it for, you know, a day or two?
So, you know how, like, in the hotels, they do, like, snack bars?
Yeah.
I don't know how long this has been going on, but now they have, like, a sensor in the snack bar. So, like, if they sense something moving out of the snack bar, they charge your room.
No way.
Yeah. So, like, before, like, after you left, they would just go check the snack bar. And if a water bottle was taken, like, you know, they would count it. Now it's, like, censored. So each night, they, like, the sensor goes off and tells them, like, what's missing. And they put that charge on your room.
Wow, how interesting.
And so when we went with Rory and Noelle, they were both playing with the snack bar.
Oh, no.
So they kept taking, and they didn't open anything, but they kept taking snacks out, and then we would put the snacks in. But I didn't think it was a big deal because in my mind, I'm like, we're not opening it. I didn't know you couldn't touch it.
Yeah.
Until we, like, I think they called us the night before we checked out just to, like, confirm everything or something. And maybe, like, it looked like a high charge on the snack bar. So they're
like, ma'am, it looks like you spent $4,000 on snacks.
Basically, like, it was a really high charge.
Oh my gosh.
And she was like, I just want to make sure, like, this is, you know, you guys, like, and I was like, no, like, we didn't need anything from the snack bar. What do you mean? And they, like, had someone come check, and they explained to us that there's a sensor and you can't move anything. If you touch something and the sensor senses it, like, you get charged immediately.
That's wild.
And so before we checked out, we had to wait in our room for someone to come.
Oh my gosh, check on you?
Check on it to make sure so they can take it off before we checked out.
Wow.
So, like, you know, normally when you check out, you just check out in your screen, like, on the TV in the room. Yeah. We couldn't do that because they had to come verify that we didn't eat, like, $4,000 worth of snacks.
They were like, excuse me, ma'am, we just need to double check here.
And I asked them the night before, I was like, well, my 1-year-old keeps grabbing it, and it's, like, accessible to her. And I was like, I'm trying my best here, but, like, could you then maybe just remove the snacks out of our room? Mm-hmm. And they were like, we can't do that. And I'm like, well, then why?
That feels unaccommodating for sure.
Yeah, it was just like, well, then you're setting me up for failure.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like with kids, how can you really...
Yeah. I was like, can you lock it? Like, I don't know. I was like, can you do anything? Like, I'm trying my best here. We're not eating your snacks. Yeah. But my kid just keeps playing with them. Yeah. And I have 2 kids. That I'm like, then Noelle thinks it's funny, so then Noelle goes and grabs them.
Right, of course, yeah.
So anyway, so I just remember, like, that was a whole ordeal. Mm-hmm. I mean, luckily, they took everything off. They were very, like, sweet at the end, but it was just, like, such a hassle.
Yeah, of course.
And I was just like, what do you guys do with families then? Like, I can't be the only family that kids play with the snack bar.
Yeah, of course.
So I don't know.
They're like, this is actually the first time we've ever experienced a child opening a fridge. Yeah. We never thought it could happen up until this point.
Yeah.
That's so funny. No, it was just pricey, dude. Yeah. Like, David wanted to get a Starbucks in the morning. It was like $9 for a grande. He came back. He's like, I'm not getting that coffee. Yeah. And I was like, I understand. When he said the price of it, I was like, I get that. I wouldn't get it either. But we did. So I had wanted to try Gordon Ramsay's like fish and chip stand for years, actually. Yeah. There was someone who took a really nice photo of them one time, and I was like, that looks so yummy. Yeah. And so it was like just a thing to like cross off my checklist when I go to Vegas the next time, you know? And so where David and I were staying, it was called The Link. And it's literally across the street. Like there's a little promenade behind it, and it was literally a walk across. So we were like, okay, cool, great. This is awesome. We finally get to like try it. It was not that great.
I'm sorry.
Which bummed me out.
I know, that sucks.
Yeah, and it's also like Gordon Ramsay. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you would think like the way that this man like insults people on TV and the way that this man like just like screams and yells at other chefs and stuff. Like I think I'm in the right to be like, whether it's a fish and chip stand or like an official restaurant. Yeah. You talk a lot of big, you know.
You have a big game.
I should experience like an incredible meal, right?
So with the fish and chips, what was like wrong with it?
It just felt like it wasn't seasoned.
Oh.
Which I get, like, I mean, I kind of can get that it would mostly be in the sauces, but the sauces weren't that incredible either.
Yeah.
This, like, the tartar just felt like a very basic, like, I've had better in other places, you know what I mean?
He's English, right?
Yes. And I kind of wondered if that, too, was one of the reasons why it just was, like, bland.
I was going to say, when we had gone to London and, like, I wanted to eat fish and chips in England, and it was disgusting. Oh. And, but I think, I don't mean to offend anybody.
England. Take notes, England.
But I think
Shanelle thinks you suck.
No. But I will say, I don't think that, like, they salt or season their food the way that we do in America.
For sure.
Or, you know, or other places. Like, it just felt like anything that was like pure English food
was just bland.
Yeah. Like the Indian restaurants out there were good. Like other ethnicity restaurants out there were really good.
Yeah.
But like when we had like English meals.
Yeah.
My American palate was just not used to that level of bland. And I'm sorry, I know I'm a dumb American, but I need salt.
See, that's what I was thinking too. And okay, here's the thing. Like, when it comes to sodium levels, I get it. Yeah. Americans are like top notch, okay, when it comes to adding salt to things. I understand that. But for instance, like, we've been trying to cook better and like do things. So like I've done a pretty good job, I think, in our home of reducing some of our sodium content. But then you like add other flavors in there. You like do other things that kind of like make up for it, you know, or whatever.
And they don't have seasoning.
And they just don't. Yeah. So in my head, I was like, and he had like in his restaurant there was a sauce. It was like a curry mango sauce that David got, and it was okay.
Oh, really? You didn't like it?
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah. It wasn't bad. Yeah. But it's not one of those, like, I honestly, for the hype that I was expecting, or just for in my mind what I was hoping for, it fell flat. And so I think when that happens, in general, I think you have like a new grade. Yeah. Like grading curve for everything that you're eating. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was like, it's fine.
Yeah. I will say though, so when we also went to his restaurant when we had gone last year, and we got his sticky toffee
that was great
cake. I still think about that cake. Like, I crave it like no other.
Yeah.
I've searched the Valley for like a cake like it. Yeah. You guys told us about a place that like a restaurant that had
nothing like that though.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say like I was gonna ask if it compared to that one. Yeah.
No, not at all. And that's what we thought too. Yeah. I was like, because David said, I wonder if Shanelle went, and I was like, no, but if she had, she would have been like, this is nothing like what I was picturing.
Yeah. Because that cake. Yeah. Oh my gosh, his mouth water. I feel like his desserts are really well. I had gone to his restaurant 5 or 6 years ago too. The first time Sean went to Vegas, I went with him, and we ate there. I got an Indian dish, which was amazing. Okay. And I think Sean got a burger or something. I can't remember. His was also really good, but he had milkshakes before. These really decadent, like big milkshakes with like candy sticking out of it. Oh wow. And all this stuff, and I think they were alcohol milkshakes too. They were really yummy. Nice. They took it off the menu though. Because when we went back last year and I asked for it, he's like, "Oh, we took off all the milkshakes off the menu." But that was so good too. Like, that was probably the best milkshake I'd ever had. He does. I mean,
yeah. I just in my head. Here's the thing, like, I've watched him do interviews, like, I've watched him do all these different things. He's so, like, down, he goes hard to, like, insult anybody, you know? Yeah. And so in my head, and he also acts like he knows so much about seasoning. Have you ever heard, like, anytime he wants to make an ethnic dish, all of a sudden he knows so much about seasoning. And I'm like, okay, so you can't season your fish and chips? Like, you're telling me that you didn't learn anything from those? Like, you were like, I'm going to stick with England. England knows best when it comes to this. Yeah. And not season it.
That's so funny.
You can't tell me that makes sense.
That's so funny. I've never actually watched him. I hear a lot about him. I've never actually, like, watched any of his things. Yeah. I just feel like he would scare me. But
he is very intimidating.
But I don't know if it's like his way of like, because he is English, staying true to like that version of cooking.
No, nonsense.
It's like, I don't buy it.
I don't care. I refuse to accept it.
I just think he's staying true to like his culture's way of cooking. I don't think it's good. It's just that's just a better.
I just think if Europeans can be so bold as to invade other places and like steal seasonings, you might as well use them. You know. That's my thoughts. Okay. That's what he's like. She's so bold to go and invade other places. You would think, right? You just wanted everyone to have bland fish and chips. Oh my gosh, I think I'm crying. Oh my gosh. I stand by my statement.
You're so bold. They learned to nothing.
I saw Adele. I don't care anymore.
I love this, Priya.
I told you 2024 wasn't you, Priya.
Okay. Okay, let me compose myself. That was so funny, Priya. I can't. Like, I'm mad at you. So funny. Okay. Anyway, so
I did it. I really did it. I finally did it.
I can't even finish the show. Forget it.
Ignores the actual purpose of this episode. We're done here.
Okay, no.
Oh my god.
Okay. So besides how expensive Vegas was, please tell me about this concert.
Okay, so getting to the main point.
Yeah. Were there any
Adele.
celebs there?
No.
Okay.
As far as I know.
Okay, but
there
walk
weren't
me through
any.
the show.
Okay, so
The venue?
it was the Coliseum.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it was really pretty.
Yeah.
Just a beautiful venue in general. The stage is set up as like an A, just like a giant A.
Yeah.
It's really pretty. And there were just, where do I even start? So we took the day. Everybody was asking me before we went to Vegas. They were like, what are your plans? Are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? And both David and I were like, what about Adele do you not get? What about, like, do you think I'm going to do anything else this day? I'm just going to sit in my room and wait the entire time until the concert starts. And so, like, the day of, we decided to basically figure out how long the walk was going to be, because I was going to be in heels.
Yeah.
So I needed, like, a game plan. Like, I needed to know, do I pack sneakers and then change into my heels when I'm there? Or, like, can I, you know what I mean? Like, just based on terrain and all those things, you have to, like, know what you're doing. So during the day, we went and we had lunch somewhere. We walked around Caesar's Palace, which was nice. It was huge.
Yeah, Caesar's Palace is nice.
It did not honestly occur to me how huge that place was until we were in there. It has its own mall and everything. I was like, oh, okay. But that's in there is the Coliseum. And so I was like, okay, now I know kind of how we're going to get there. That's great. I'm all good. After we had lunch, we went into her store and I bought so much merch.
That's nice that there was a store there and you didn't have to do it at the concert and wait in a line.
Yes. So
that's really nice.
At the concert, they do have little stalls for merch too, obviously. And then like you can right before or right after, but they had a store right next to the Coliseum. They had all her merch there. And they had little mannequins with outfits that she's worn through the years. Cute. So it was really cute. It was really cool to see. A lot of the outfits were really pretty. And then they just had tons of stuff. They had like a pool floaty, which I was joking that I wish I got it because then I could have like just used it right now and just been decked out.
Sitting in your floaty.
Just sitting in my floaty, drinking my wine, you know? But it was really expensive. I think it was like $100 for it. Or maybe More? I
That's
don't know.
wild.
It was just a lot for a pool floaty. I couldn't do it. But they had that. They had tons of different shirts. I will say I was kind of bummed because the hoodie material felt stiff. It felt like really, really thick, which is not a bad thing. But when you live in LA and you know it's not going to ever be that cold,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I kind of just wish it was a little more of like a lightweight style. I got this because it kind of works as an in-between.
Yeah.
And I really like this, but I got like a t-shirt, I got that, I got a mug, I got all these different things. And it was just nice because like you said too, I got to literally grab it all and put it in the room and not have to think about it.
Yeah.
And not have to be like, oh, like what am I going to get after? It was just, I don't know, it made it like a lot more of a stress-free experience, which was great. I don't know if that was a thing that her team decided on, but if it was, great job. It was a really smart decision on your part to do it like that. But came back to the room. I literally took like 2 hours to get ready. I mean, I had the time, so I just like I showered and I like took my time. I did my hair. I killed it with my makeup. I'm not gonna lie. Like I really I put so much time and effort into my makeup. Like I enjoy the process of makeup, but I never go all out like I used to. So it was also kind of nice and kind of therapeutic to just like sit there and just do it and have fun and be like, okay, this is what I'm going to wear. So like, what's a good look? And I don't know. It was just fun. So I got ready. We walked over there. I think we sat down around 7. The show started at 8. We sat down pretty close to 7. So I was like, we were good. We were comfortable. We knew, okay. David went and grabbed drinks. I used the restroom so that I wouldn't faint.
You're so cute.
By the time she started, I was like, if I need to even a little bit go to the restroom, I'm going to be so angry. So I was like, you know how you have those little kid rules where you hear your parents saying like, just go right now because you might have something. You never know. I was like, I'm going to follow that rule and go. So I went. I was good. I sat down. It was relaxed. And then she came out. And I kid you not, Shanelle. So she comes out from the side. We're on a balcony to the very like left in terms of where we are. For her, it would have been like stage right, if that makes sense to anybody. So we're on the balcony. It's considered level 3, but it was the very first level of balconies. And we had front row. So it was nice because there was no like obstruction for us or anything. Yeah. And David picked a great seat based on like when he could get it because there were like time slots of when you could pick your seats and everything. So he picked a great one because he made sure we were front row, all of that. And so I had a good view of everything. And I'm not kidding. The pianist starts. His name was Eric. He did a great job. And he starts playing. And then a few seconds into him playing, I see her little feet coming out. And I started screaming. Aww. And I'm not kidding. If you listen to the playback, I'm the first person who screamed for her. And, like, I could hear it. Like, I knew, like, oh, my God, like, I think I just saw her first and I just started screaming. Aww. And so, like, I scream and then you hear all these other people start screaming with it. So it was kind of, like, an exciting moment in my own head. I was like, I did this. Like, I started, like, a chant for her. This is so exciting. And I will say... This has nothing to do with it, but I was talking to David about it. I'm a good screamer. I don't like, I will say like that's maybe like one benefit of having like been trained, I guess, like for singing. Voice, yeah. Because like, you know how some people when they scream, I don't know if you've ever seen those videos of like Miss World pageants. Yeah. Where they're like screaming their country, but it sounds horrible when they do it. Yeah. Thankfully, I don't have that. My voice doesn't start breaking and stuff. It's a solid scream. I sound like R2-D2 when I scream. That's cute. I will say that, yeah. So if you're trying to picture, like, what does Priya sound like? That's the sound. I think David took a video of it, so. He did. He posted it on Instagram. Oh, there you go. Did you hear it was me? I did. I did hear it. Yeah, that was, so she comes out. She obviously starts with hello. Yeah. Because that makes the most sense, right? Like, imagine she starts with something else. Everyone would have been so upset if, like, Hello was a third song. I'd be like, why? Why'd you do it this way? But she starts with Hello. And I've seen people who when they're touched by a performance or when they're seeing someone that they consider like their idol or their favorite artist or whatever it is, they just start crying, right? And I've never had that experience with anyone until yesterday. Aww. Like when she walked out and when she started, she's stunning. Like she herself is a beautiful person and her voice is so powerful and so breathtaking at the same time. And so I was just crying because in my head I was like, how did I get here? Like this is so crazy that like a promise that was made as a teen comes true all these years later, and I get to be here and I'm in the same room with her and I just get to see her and just be floored by her talent. Yeah. So it was incredible. It was amazing. I teared up. The stage setup is so cool. The way that like her band shifts throughout. They have like moving platforms. So it was really cool. And then just hearing her talk is so cute too because it's such a shift from like where she is vocally, you know? She just talks so like she's your friend. She's just ready to chat with you, all that stuff. And so she was just like, who's ready for tonight's show? And then she said all this stuff like, she's like, what single guys were dragged out here today? Don't worry about it. I'm not going to be offended. And then she would have these stories that she would share and just all this stuff. And you could tell like she put her heart into it. Yeah. And she even said, I think somewhere, I can't remember where I read it, but she did say that she wanted to fall back in love with performing and that the show has really like allowed her to do that.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah. So it was incredible. And just, I don't know. There was one, she did Set Fire to the Rain. Yeah. And it was wild. The stage was on fire. Wow. The piano prop that they had, it was like melting. Oh wow. Yeah, there's like rain falling. She's just standing in front of it. And she's so cute because afterwards she goes, every weekend I have a different hairstyle. Some require a lot more hairspray than others. I need to know if I'm going to catch on fire or not because of how much hairspray I have in my hair. So it was like, she was just funny. Yeah. She knew how to do crowd work really, really well. Yeah. And her voice was just stunning. Yeah. So I loved it.
I love that for you guys. Yeah, like I was so excited. I was so excited watching like the Instagram that David posted today and just like seeing you guys there was so beautiful.
Yeah. And David was so sweet because we're actually going to go see one of his favorite artists next week, which makes me feel like, wow, this is wild. Like what life are we living right now? Like I got to see Adele and next week we're going to see another one and it's Millennium for anybody who knows. But we're really excited for that show. And both of us were saying the same thing where it's these artists who you on your own didn't think that you were going to get to see, but because you're married, you get to have these new and cool experiences. Like David on his own probably would have never been like, let me go and see an Adele show, you know? Yeah. But because he's married to me, it's like he got to experience this. And even on his end, like I heard like a sniffle or two from him. And at one point when we were talking about it, it was just such a kind-hearted thing because he said it was just so exciting to see the person that you love, and it was so exciting to see Jesus love you in this way. Aww. So it was very sweet. It was very touching. Yeah, it was the best show. It was just the best show. Aww. I loved every minute of it.
Priya's crying.
I'll include a clip or something if I can, because I think like I checked on my phone and the sound is actually pretty good. Yeah. But yeah, just the way the stage moves, just the visuals of it, stunning. Just stunning. It was a great show. 10 out of 10. I loved it. Yeah.
She's crying and I don't know why, but I want to cry.
It's the alcohol.
I'm just so happy for you.
Thank you.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, it was sweet. I loved it.
And I just want to like stop and just take a moment just to like talk about how sweet your guys' marriage is. That was so sweet that, like,
thank you.
David just loved you in that moment and, like, saw God loving you in that moment and then wanted to share that with you.
Yeah.
That's
it was
just
very
beautiful.
kind. Yeah. I think I struggle a lot. I've talked about it a little bit. I struggle a lot with anxiety in my faith, particularly. And it has a lot to do with, things from my past and kind of the way I was taught or the way that things were just said around me. And so to kind of just have these moments where I can be reminded that, like, good things can happen and it's just because you're loved is, like, a really beautiful thing,
That's so beautiful.
Yeah. So if there's anybody who's, like, listening and who struggles with that, I do want to take a second to say great things can happen and they can happen just because you're loved. And it's cool. You can just sit in that. You don't have to think like something good is happening right now because something bad is going to happen later. And at least I'll have this good thing to kind of, like, fall back on or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, good things can just happen. And you should allow yourself to live in that because it was just really great to, like, live in that.
Priya!
I took you through highs and lows today.
So beautiful! I wasn't prepared.
I have Shanelle crying. Oh!
That was so beautiful.
Look at that episode.
I think this is a good place to end.
Okay.
Thank you, Priya, so much for
watch the Adele show somehow. It'll change your life. It'll make you a greater person.
We love you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, we love you. Bye.
Bye.